this month I really am most excited to share with you a wonderful movement that is taking place across our district now, but was founded initially at Plano Senior High, and it just truly is an example of why we are so proud to teach in a district that produces students such as these. And I'm not going to say any more because I know I will steal the spotlight if I do. But I am so pleased to turn the mic over to Mandy Arnold, who serves as the sponsor for the outreach movement. And Mandy, I'm going to let you then introduce the rest of your group. While Mandy's coming up, I'd like to just take a moment to recognize and probably somebody is going to do this also, but we have multiple members from the Hendrick Foundation here tonight, and if you would just wave so that we can recognize you, we appreciate y'all being here tonight.
Thank you, Mrs. Modisette and Plano ISD Board of Trustees. As a junior in the fall of 2013, Anish Mohanty asked me to sponsor the outreach movement. I declined, but he kept stopping by weekly just on the off chance that I might change my mind. On one of these visits, he brought a prospectus of his organization for me to review. And by his next weekly visit, Anish had a sponsor for the outreach movement. Anish's vision and persistence to encourage his peers to use their talents to tutor other less fortunate students in the Hendrick Scholarship Foundation builds a bridge of opportunity and awareness for all students involved. This vision of servant leadership isn't just limited to Plano Senior High School. The outreach movement unites all 3 senior high schools in giving back to our community. I think it is so fitting that Plano students have an opportunity to work with Hendrick Scholarship Foundation students, as Superintendent Dr. Hendrick's vision for education and leadership shaped Plano for 30 years and continues to influence our work today. In 2016, the Hendrick Scholarship Foundation will celebrate 25 years of providing for students, and the outreach movement is honored to be a part of working with Plano ISD alumni. I'm so thankful for Anish's idealistic vision and tenacity, and I'm continuously amazed by our students' ability to use their expertise and time, which by the way is a very limited resource for many of them, to benefit others. These are Plano students making their mark, turning their idealism into action in a very real way. Please welcome Anish Mohanty, PSHS graduate and founder of the Outreach Movement.
Hello. Thank you, Mrs. Arnold, for that introduction. As mentioned before, I am the president of a 501c3 approved nonprofit organization called the Outreach Movement that I started in September of 2012 along with a group of 10 other PISD students. And what we do is we conduct tutoring sessions for socioeconomically disadvantaged students throughout the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex using video conferencing software, such as Google Hangouts. And what we do is we match high-achieving PISD students that are also very academically talented with these students that are in need of supplemental academic instruction. And with our limited budget, we strive to provide all technology necessary for students to access this service. And thanks to the wide diversity of upper level and different sorts of classes offered by Plano ISD, we're able to offer a wide range of subjects to be tutored. We're able to offer anything from music theory to computer science to biology and calculus, thanks to the sheer diversity in classes that Plano ISD offers. And what's really special about our model is that we pair only one tutor with one student. And this actually helps the tutor and the student create an environment and build a bond throughout the semester that creates an environment that's very conducive to learning. So why is there a need for supplemental instruction for this cohort of students? Well, according to the U.S. Department of Education's National Center for Education Statistics, 51% of homeless and economically disadvantaged students did not meet statewide education guidelines in 2013. Furthermore, only 15% of students at the nation's top 193 universities come from the bottom 2 income quartiles. And this is huge, because this large sector of our population is not being adequately represented in the nation's top universities. Also, 29% of low-income students must repeat a grade compared to only 18% of their low-off peers, and only 9% of lowest income quartile students complete a 4-year degree. So this can be attributed to a variety of different factors. Oftentimes, parents lack the education themselves to help their students with their coursework, and also lots of students have to work 40-hour jobs in addition to going to class. So this is where we come in, because we believe that education should never be a product of financial circumstance. So currently, we have 4 chapters. We have one at Plano East Senior High, where they have 15 students and 18 tutors, where they work with students at the Family Gateway Shelter in downtown Dallas. These are entirely homeless students. We also just opened up a branch this November in New York City, where we have 13 students and 15 tutors, where they tutor at the Covenant House Shelter, where they tutor all homeless and abused children. And we're planning on starting a chapter at Plano West Senior High School, where they will be tutoring students through the Collin County Child Protective Services System. But this is pending funding, and this is projected to start in February 2016. But the branch that I will be talking to you about today is the one that we have at Plano Senior High School. We have 18 students and 28 tutors, and we work with the Hendrick Scholarship Foundation. And this is our largest and most successful outreach chapter to date. So a little bit about our Hendrick partnership. We utilize Plano Senior High School students, and these students must maintain a 4.1 minimum GPA and have taken the AP equivalent course that is to be tutored. And this is because the Hendrick Scholarship Foundation, their students are college students. So by taking the AP equivalent course, they have the necessary understanding and the necessary depth of information that makes them good tutors for these students. And what's really special about this program is that it's Plano ISD students helping Plano ISD alumni. And this is entirely unprecedented for Plano ISD. No other organization on campus allows students to directly impact their former classmates after graduation. And as I said before, it is the largest and most successful outreach chapter because of this. So here's an informational video to sort of show you give you an overview of our program.
When I look towards the people that I'm tutoring, I kind of realize that a lot of people in our own backyards really don't have that opportunity. So I think through outreach, we're promoting that academic success that a lot of people in our community itself don't really have.
You really have to be persistent with your student, and you really have to learn to, not go at your own pace, which is what we're used to as students in PISD, but really adapt and change to however they're learning and find what way is best for them.
Okay, so I wrote down, this is problem 2A. So I wrote it down on the screen. For the outreach movement, it's a really unique experience because our tutors are pretty much the top of our class because we are teaching college students. So I get to interact with some of the brightest kids on campus, and it's a really unique thing because we also interact with college students as well. So it's like bridging the gap in between high school and college.
For someone that hasn't had as many opportunities, as many privileges as I did, it really not only makes me value more what I have, but also just be a lot more conscious about everyone around me.
So we tend to live in this bubble of all of us being really lucky and really blessed, and no one in terms of their socioeconomic background or their schooling or anything should be denied any opportunity that we had. So to be able to give to those people and to be able to be a part of their journey in this process, it's a privilege and it's an honor. So.
not only are we impacting the student's life, the student is also impacting the tutor's life. It goes both ways. I think, you think that you're giving to the student, but really they're also giving back to you.
The tutoring that I've been doing for my student really has given me an appreciation for the teachers that I have, because I really understand that they have to take it at our pace as well, and I have one student, but they have hundreds.
From last year, outreach has grown a lot, and I would like to continue this trend. So always branching out more, growing, having more students, having more tutors.
The main thing that I want to see is hopefully that we can expand even more, maybe go across to other schools. I think that'd be really cool because right now most of our students are from Collin College. And then I think if we are able to reach out a little more, have a larger impact on the community, that would be something that I look forward to happening.
Any type of large-scale change comes from small steps. And from outreach, I've learned to really value those small steps. By tutoring and outreach, I'm not changing the world, but I'm changing someone's world. And that makes a big difference to me.
So ever since we commenced our Hendricks Scholarship Partnership, we have been featured in multiple different media outlets. Most notably, recently, we were featured in a number of different VoIP blogs that commended our use of video conferencing technology for our philanthropic purposes. Last November, we were featured in the Dallas Morning News under the Neighbors Go section that highlighted our work with the Hendricks Scholarship Foundation. And last May, we held a tutoring meet and greet for outgoing tutors that were graduating to convince the incoming tutors to sign up for the outreach movement. And on that day alone, we had 50 new tutors sign up. So to sort of speak to the credibility of our PISD tutors, colleges that are represented that these tutors have gone off, Outreach is represented in multiple different four-year universities, most namely Stanford, Wharton, Harvard, and Georgetown, among many others. So outreach truly is about serving differently. It's a chance for PISD students to affect change within their own community right from their own school. And this is huge for Plano ISD because oftentimes students cannot take part in different charitable activities because they lack the means of transportation to get there. By serving with outreach, you are directly impacting change right from your own campus. It also allows students to review past topics before graduation. And lots of the tutors last year, they've told me that tutoring with outreach has really solidified their understanding in different topics that they have maybe covered the year before, and it allows them to really develop their understanding before they move on to college and go on to harder and harder topics. Furthermore, it's a very humbling experience for our tutors. Lots of our tutors were previously unaware that these sorts of difficulties are present in our communities. And with working with the Hendricks Scholarship Foundation, these students exemplify resilience and tenacity. And this is great for our tutors. Furthermore, outreach is all about mutualistic learning. Tutors can learn just as much from their students as their students can learn from them. So to sort of exemplify this, the following is a testimonial from Janani Ramachandran. She was a Plano Senior High tutor last year, and she was the Plano Senior High School class of 2015, and she will be the UT Austin Engineering Honors class of 2019.
Hi, my name is Janani Ramachandran, and I have been a tutor for the outreach movement for the past 3 years. Working closely with the outreach movement and the Hendricks Scholarship Foundation served to be one of the most important parts of my high school career. It taught me a lot of things despite the fact that I was supposed to be the tutor who was conveying material to a peer. I learned that in order to have a successful impact on a student as a tutor, you had to not only be able to convey the material you were teaching clearly, but you also had to be able to form a strong relationship with the student that you were tutoring. I also learned that despite the fact that I was supposed to be teaching the student in a subject that I was strong in, there were so many things that I had to learn from the student themselves. If a way that I was trying to teach a student didn't click with them immediately, A lot of times they would explain the topic to me in a different way that made sense to them, and that would help me change my teaching strategy altogether. Overall, working with the Hendricks Scholarship Foundation and the outreach movement helped me decide clearly what I want to do with my future. My current aspirations to become a college professor have been greatly impacted by my work with the outreach movement, and it's helped me decide that my ultimate goal in life is to be able to impact others' lives in an academic manner.
So next, I would like to invite Mr. Kyle Edwards. He is a current sophomore at Collin College and a second-year Hendricks Scholarship recipient to share his experiences with working with outreach.
Hi, my name is Kyle Edwards, and I'm a sophomore at Collin College and a Hendricks Scholarship Foundation student. Without the help of Hendricks, I would not be able to attend college due to financial struggles. All of the Hendricks resources have helped me push myself harder than ever before to make it to the top and to prove to everyone that I'm thankful for all their support. Hendricks paired me with an awesome mentor, Jackie Johnson, that has helped me overcome so much these last 2 years. When I first enrolled in Collin, my grades were struggling at low C's. But because of the Hendricks Outreach Program, I'm on my way to making the Dean's List for the second semester in a row. This year, because of Hendricks, I also got a new job at an after-school daycare program called PASAR with PISD. PASAR has been perfect with the college schedule, and I'm beyond grateful for everything that Hendricks has done and the outreach movement has done to help me pursue my dream to graduate from University of North Texas with my degree in broadcasting journalism in hopes of one day to moving to Los Angeles. Thank you.
So finally, I would like to acknowledge many people that helped make this possible. So actually this year we have 3 lead tutors at Plano Senior High that are going to be responsible for all the success that we have this year. So if you could please stand up when I call your name. Lily Guo, Bill Yang, and Annie Chu. And then also our technology specialist, Eric Chen. I would also like to thank the entire Hendricks Scholarship Foundation Student Success Committee. If you could please stand as well. And also Mr. Pappas, the president of the Hendricks Scholarship Foundation, for supporting us. And finally, I would also like to give a specific thanks to Mrs. Boyd for believing in us constantly and pairing us with the Hendricks Scholarship Foundation. And I would also like to thank the Plano ISD Board of Trustees for allowing me to come, for allowing us to come and present our program to you. Thank you.
All I can say is it's so exciting to hear about our PISD students reaching out and helping others. And like you said, everyone that you had interviewed, even though you're the one who thinks you're going to be giving and it's just going to go one way, it always goes both ways. And it's a wonderful thing to hear that this is still going on with you. You know, I know you're still involved, but, you know, with you out of the PISD system, that's growing. It's fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You know, the student tutors that are working in this program are, as you mentioned, the very high achieving students. And I know that it's got to be a real big commitment that you make to take the time away from your own studies when I know what your goals are, which are to max the class. And I just really admire you for that. It's just really touching.
Thank you.
I'm just looking at not just you kids and your leadership and your vision, but all these people on this road with Hendrick. I know most of them, Mandy's mother was my chemistry teacher. Nancy Boyd was my high school counselor. And that's who I called when I was going to run for this position. I mean, just the network of giving that exists in this community, it just continues. And that's just really fulfilling. And I'm just really proud of you guys.
Thank you.
And I think it's what a spectacular match with Hendrick.
I think so, and I recognize a lot of those faces out there, and I've worked hard with them as a volunteer with Hendrick in the past. And I want to say to the students in the row behind, it's amazing that you're reinforcing what you've learned, and I know that when you are tutoring someone, you are learning more deeply about that same subject, and so it really benefits you. But I loved what the student said when she said she understood what her teachers were going through. She's dealing with one student, and the teachers have 140 kids that they teach. So it just exemplifies what a great job we're doing here in Plano with our teachers, with our students, and I love the partnership with the community.
You know, we talked about, he talked about what you get out of it. But one of the things to think about is you're making a difference in somebody's life, and you're making a big difference. There's somebody who may not complete college or do something, and you just made that small turn. And because of you, they're going to complete college, they're going to get a good job or start a business or anything else. And it's you being there at that moment that made that difference. Think about that.
And let's not forget the young man student here on the front row, and how obviously your diligence and your tenacity to stay committed to your education is going to benefit you richly, and your personal life experiences are benefiting your tutor too. So you're giving richly too.
There's two people that we didn't recognize that were also very important in this. And Anish, will you introduce your parents, please?
Yes. My parents, Srinaz Mohanty and Jayanth Mohanty. They support me in everything that I do.
Thank you as parents for sharing just an amazing young man with us.
Thank you so much for being here
Thank
tonight.
you.
We really enjoyed the presentation.